Jad, Tariq, welcome to today's podcast. I am exceptionally happy to have you both here today and very excited to see you soon in FHS. Jad, I'm going to bother you. In the beginning, I'd like to ask you a bit more about Aleph Hospitality. Tell us briefly about the company, your insights, and the competitive advantage that you have.
Good afternoon, Jana and Ramadan Kareem. Good afternoon, Tariq.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jana, for hosting us on that podcast. Pleasure being here. That's my first with you, so I'm pretty excited. My name is Jad Shamseddin, Chief Operating Officer of Aleph Hospitality. Aleph is a leading independent hotel management company operating in the Middle East and Africa. Predominantly started in Africa 7 years ago, and we're running there 10 hotels. And recently, we started our focus on the Middle East, namely Saudi Arabia and the surrounding. We opened our first hotel, 450 rooms hotel in Doha, Qatar, end of last year, just before World Cup, and currently heavily engaged with several owners in Saudi Arabia and other countries to operate their hotels. The model is very simple. We manage all type of hotels under different brands or under local or no brands at all. We work with the big brands. They're all approved. We're approved by all of them, and they give us franchise, and we operate for the owners. That's in a nutshell what Aleph does in the industry.
Interesting. Thank you, Jad, for this. I've been a fan of Aleph for quite some time, and I know last time we were speaking, you were looking at heading to Saudi. And Tariq, welcome to Aleph officially. I know you're the new VP. Can you tell us more about you and your role in the Saudi headquarters now?
Thank you, Jana, for the warm welcome. I'm actually now the Vice President of Saudi Arabia in hospitality industries, Aleph. I have been in the hospitality industries for more than 26 years, doing many different roles, among them the Area Director of Finance and Business Support in charge of more than 10 hotels and palaces in the Saudi Arabia, and area general manager of Intercontinental Hotels in my last role. Now, as a vice president of Aleph Hospitality in Saudi Arabia, my main goals with Aleph is to grow the company and look in the local market and to be part of the country growth and vision of 2030 by creating an of effective strategies and building trust where we can provide owners with the best return and confidence.
Thank you. I know Saudi is one of the biggest and leading hospitality and tourism sectors now. And since you have done that strategic decision to come to the Saudi market, I'm sure that your vision of the Saudi market is quite big. So, Tariq, can you give us a little bit of insight onto what you're seeing in the future for the Saudi market in the hospitality industry for Aleph?
There is no doubt in the Saudi Arabia in recording dynamic key performance in the hospitality sectors. As recently, I'm sure that you have been heard about all the mega project announcement, which will be supporting all hotels and will be supporting the investors to invest on these promising sectors. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's actually they have been open their heart to all worldwide tourists, which will give and promise that these industries will be growing and continue growing for the coming 10 years.
Amazing. And Jad, back to you. What kind of pipeline are you looking for to meet within the Saudi market? Who can we connect you to?
Well, I would like to add that we've also, Tariq is leading our newly established office in Saudi. So Aleph is now established in Saudi, and then again as a commitment to the growth of the company. The pipeline is quite massive, Jana. So eventually, we did not set a number because there are unlimited opportunities right now in Saudi. What we're really focusing on are cooperating with the Tourism Development Fund for secondary cities. This is where the Saudi division is also heading to develop these areas, building tourism demand, and eventually more hotels to be built there. And due to the nature of the country being a very large territory and the capacity of operators, brand owners to be everywhere, we're cooperating with them, with the brand owners and the local authorities and investors, so we can help in managing these hotels under different brands, right? But mostly in cities where currently the reach is hard for the brands. Eventually, that does not eliminate our interest in main cities. Of course, we're very active in Medina and Mecca, again, due to the nature of the demand there and the capacity of the market, but also in Riyadh and Jeddah with the new development. We're going to talk, I'm sure, during the course of this podcast about why would owners want to deal with third-party operator, but I'll leave that to you.
Yes, that was going actually to be my next question. So if you can go ahead and answer that, then please.
Now, the fact is, in continuation, what I'm saying is that demand for hotels is very high right now. You know, to cope with the tourism and the visitors, be it business, exhibition, MICE business, and so on. And everyone has a certain capacity. So by joining efforts with the brands, we're able to go faster and deliver hotels, operating hotels on time. And that's also applying for the relationship with the Ministry of Tourism and the Tourism Development Fund, that they need to be on track to deliver hotels, operating hotels, and our presence is there. Now, take those two aside. Owners these days want to be also more involved in their project or the hotel they own. And we all know that the current management agreement between the owners and the brand itself that's operating are very complex and restricting owners' involvement, which basically has a reason, of course. These brands operate a very large number of hotels and they cannot just, tailor-made the engagement with each owner separately. Our case is different. We basically are more simplified as a third-party management company, not only as Aleph. And we do provide, we do allow the involvement of the owners in their business to a certain limit, of course, so they don't interact with the day-to-day operation, but more in the decision-making and the flexibility of interaction. And that's where we're seeing that model very, very active on the table of discussion with owners that wants a brand, but wants to be in control as well, and wants the party to work for them, not for the brand. That's where we're coming in. Is it spreading fast? No. It is still in the education process, honestly speaking. Of course, there are signed deals and there are projects in the execution, but it's not as wide as we expected it to be. Again, because of the long term where operator have been dominating the management.
You're right.
as well.
You're right. I think the hospitality industry is one of the slowest to adapt to innovation and new tactics. And Aleph just came into the right time. I believe you are an enabler for those who own the hotel or owners in the hotel industry to have more power in decision making. Um, we both know that FHS is coming soon, Future Hospitality Investment Summit, and we're excited to have you both there. Is there something
Thank you.
particular that you're looking forward to this year in specific?
For me, that networking and to showcase our growth in Saudi Arabia.
Fantastic. Jad, you've been a loyal visitor and sponsor for many, many years. Any expectations this year with your headquarter being in Saudi?
Well, Jana, we know FHS or whatever previous name it held before has been constantly growing in Saudi. The amount of demand and the number of people, quality people that are attending, made us super excited for this year to see first who's going to be there. Second, of course, the networking part is key, but also with this huge amount of projects and development going on in the country, we expect to even get leads and maybe close some deals. Well, maybe not on the spot, but establish or pave the way to closing deals in FHS. We've done that in the past, and we've been very grateful being part of this event.
Amazing.
So our goals remain the same, but on a higher level, maybe bigger volume, and I'm sure it's gonna be there.
I think
Good.
I think we're going on with a super momentum this year, hitting all the targets, and looking forward to welcoming a lot of new sponsors, a lot of new delegates, a lot of new projects in the Saudi market, whether announced or unannounced. So we're looking forward to having you both here, and thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely,
you.
Great
Jana. We
day.
look forward as well.
See you
See
soon.
you.
Take
Take care.
care. Good
Bye
day.
bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Future Hospitality Summit podcast. For more information, visit www.futurehospitalitysummit.com.